Hello all, my name is Krish Nayak and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, I'm super excited to probably continue the series of Agentic AI application, and in this particular video, we are going to build Agentic AI application wherein agents will start communicating with vector databases to probably ask any queries and try to get a specific kind of response. Okay. Now we are going to go ahead one step ahead. Already in our previous video, we have discussed about how we can probably create an AI agentic application which can integrate with multiple tools. Here, we are going to use external vector databases, which will be quite amazing for learnings, right? One more amazing thing, guys. In the previous video, I really got an amazing response from all of you. Thank you very much for supporting this specific series. One important thing that you really need to do is that, like how I kept a target in the previous video, in this video also I'll keep a target. The likes is 1200 likes is the minimum likes that you really need to go ahead and give. Along with that, we will keep a target of 150 comments. So please make sure to do this. The reason is very simple. I will get motivated. I'll try to upload more and more videos for all of you. Along with this, if you start interacting on this particular videos, if you have a lot of discussion, these videos will be probably recommended to many people out there. And yes, many people require this kind of videos itself. Okay. So let's go ahead and probably share my screen, and I will probably talk about the problem statement. Now, before we go ahead, I already told you in my last class, right? In my last video, one very important thing that one issue that we are getting is that to probably use the OpenAI API key, right? When we are trying to run this particular code. And the reason was very simple because over here in the multi-AI agent, even though we were using Groks over here in the independent agent, right? Here we are using Grok, and Grok usually has open source models, right? LLM models. But here we did not give any model over here, right? So that is the reason by default it was considering the OpenAI models, right? So this is the code change that you really need to do, because many people had actually suggested in the comments. See, this is quite amazing. People started giving suggestions. Hey, you probably go ahead and give the model and the issue will get solved. And there's some people also who converted this entire application into a Streamlit project. That was the super exciting thing for me. Okay. So please make sure that you go ahead and update this and automatically your application will start working. Now, the next thing what I'm actually doing is that I'm creating a PDF assistant. Now here, I'll be creating agents that will be interacting with your vector database, because this kind of examples also you need to see. Okay. Now, if I probably go and see this phi data, so they are multiple things. Let's say if I go ahead and see some vector DBs, there is like multiple DBs like PG vector, quadrant, pinecone, Lange DB, chroma DB, single store. Let's consider that I'm going to probably use PG vector. Okay, let's see that I'll go ahead and use this PG vector. This is my vector database, right? Now, from this particular vector database, what we are basically going to do is that we are first of all going to run it in our local. Now, there are two ways how you can run it, right? One is directly run it in the form of Dockers, in the Docker container. So here, what I'm actually going to do is that I'll go ahead and run this particular command, and automatically this particular vector database will be running in my Docker. So you need to have Docker desktop installed. I'll be showing you step by step how things can be basically done. Okay. Now, what happens in this particular vector database later on, if I upload any PDF URL, right? Then that PDF URL content will be extracted and it will be stored in this vector database, right? And then I will try to create an agent which will try to interact with this vector database. Now, why I'm creating this? See, if I show you one example, you can probably explore all the other examples like quadrant, pinecone, Lange DB, chroma DB. And that is what I'm going to probably give you an assignments as we go ahead, so that you can also go ahead and practice. Along with this, I have also started exploring one very important thing, which is called as this knowledge, right? Now, what is this knowledge? Knowledge base is a database of information that agent can search to improve its responses. Now, if I probably see over here, there's something called as PDF URL. Now, here, what does this PDF URL does is that it reads the PDF from URLs. Like, let's say that if I'm having a PDF URL, if I just give the URL, it will read them, convert that into vector embedding and load them into a vector database. So what I'm actually going to do, I'll also use this, okay? I will read any PDFs, I will try to convert that into vector and store in the PG vector. Now, this is just one example. You can use anything. You can use RSave, you can use combined, you can use CSV, whatever things you basically require, you can actually do. Now, see, if I probably see in PDF URL, here we are giving some PostgreSQL URL, right? And this right now is will be running in my Docker, right? If I don't want to do it from my local, I can also go ahead and probably host it in some AWS or Azure database, and from there I can just get the link and just upload it over here. Okay. So step by step, this entire application will be created. So this is what I say, agent which can interact with your vector database. But initially, that agent should read the content and upload it in the vector database, right? So that kind of chatbot we are just going to create over here. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's start writing the code. Okay. So first of all, I have created a file which is called as pdfassistant.py. So here I have imported two libraries. So let me just go ahead and hide my face so that you focus on the coding. Okay. Now, along with this, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to also upload one very important library, which is called as assistant. Now, this assistant I've not taught in my previous session, right? So in this session, I'll also go ahead and show you what this assistant basically does. Okay. Assistant is just like an independent AI, autonomous AI, which will be able to assist for different tasks. Okay. So we are going to do this. Along with this, there is also something called as PG assistant storage. Okay, this is specifically for the storage. So if I just go ahead and import this, see, file.storage.assistant Postgres PG assistant storage. So if I go ahead and see over here, there is something called as storage. Inside this inside this there is something called as Postgres, and we are just going to run this PG vector, right? And here you'll be able to see that we have also imported this. So PG agent storage is there. There is also like PG assistant storage. Okay. And somewhere here or there, it should be there inside this particular storage itself. Okay. So for right now, let's go ahead and use this. If you want to use any other database, there are also multiple databases which you can specifically use. At the end of the day, this is just going to create a session and some temporary file name where it is going to get stored. But right now, I'm just going to run everything into the Docker. So I should be able to run it. Okay. So let's go back to my code, and I have imported this. Along with this, I told you I'm going to import PDF URL knowledge base. The reason is I will read the PDF URL and try to probably read the content out of it and try to save it in a vector database. Okay. Then the kind of vector database I'm going to specifically use is PG vector. How do I get this particular class? It is very simple. Just go to my vector DB, see in the PG vector, and just go ahead and copy it. See, here you have URL knowledge base, here you have PG vector. You can just go ahead and copy this, right? There is also one more variant of PG vector, that is PG vector 2. So it is really necessary that you start seeing the documentation, because in the documentation you almost have each and everything. Okay. Perfect. This is done. Now, I have imported all these libraries. Now, the one important thing that you also need to know about this is that you need to make sure that you also install all these libraries. But we'll see step by step whenever we start getting an error. Okay, not right now, but whenever we get an error, we will try to probably go ahead and see it. Okay, so this was my another library. Now, along with this, I'm going to import OS. Okay, along with this, I'm going to probably go ahead and write from .env import load_.env, and then I'm going to initialize load_.env. Okay. Now, first thing, I will just go ahead and set up my environment variable, and the environment variable that I'm actually going to use is nothing but I don't want OpenAI API key because I'm not going to use it. So instead of setting the environment, I'll just go ahead and use my Grok API key because I require my Grok API key. So I'll just go ahead and write Grok API key. I will copy it over here, and I'll set up this particular environment, and I'll say, hey, os.getEnv, and here I'm going to use my Grok API key. Perfect. So this, I think, is the most common step that we have specifically used. Okay. Now let's go back to the documentation. We have to create this particular DB URL because see, as soon as we run this, okay, run this command, it should be running inside our Docker with this URL. Okay. So what I will do, I will just go ahead and copy this, and I'll run this. Okay. So in order to run it, first of all, you need to have your Docker desktop started. Okay. You need to install your Docker desktop. And now I will just go ahead and open one git bash. Okay. Git bash. So let's open the git bash and I'll paste it over here. Okay. So this is the paste. Now here you can see that error response from daemon conflict PG vector already in use. Okay. No worries. So the problem is that I have already tried it out. So I'm just going to delete this PG vector. But if you're doing it for the first time, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Now I will just go ahead and paste it over here. And now it should run. Okay. And here I think it should be running. Okay. So now this has started and the URL is 5532 to 5432. So my URL should also be set up in that way only. Okay. So if you see over here, 5532, right? So I will just copy this DB URL with 5532. Okay, 5532. Perfect. So this is there. I'll paste it over here. Okay, I will. This will be my DB URL. Okay. Now, step by step, we have specifically done each and everything. We have set up our DB URL and all. Okay, over here. I will not run it right now because as soon as we run, because we need to also install some of the libraries that you'll be able to see in just some time, like what all libraries I will require. Now, I will just go ahead and create my knowledge base. Okay. So my knowledge base will be with respect to all the PDF URLs that I'm actually going to give, because I'm saying that, hey, you have to probably retrieve from this many number of PDFs. So here I'm just going to use my PDF URL knowledge base. As I told you, I'm going to use this. The first parameter is something called as URLs. Okay. Now inside this URL, I'm going to use one URL, which was also available in the documentation. And here, this is the URL, right? HTTPS 5 public S3 Amazon AWS.com/recipes slash Thai recipes .pdf. So if I go ahead and see this URL, this is what the PDF is, So I can probably get a lot of details from this. What are the content? See all the details. Like if I want to probably make this particular dish, these are the ingredients and all. What are health things is there? How much preparation time? All this information is available over here. So we'll try to probably create a chatbot which will be able to interact over here. Okay. Then the next parameter that I will be using over here is my vector DB, right? So my vector DB will be nothing but my PG vector, which I have initialized, PG vector 2. Okay. And I will say, hey, let's create a collection name over here. My collection will be nothing but I will write recipes, and I will say, hey, this is my DB underscore URL. Okay. Is equal to DB underscore URL. Okay. So whatever URL I've actually set it over here with respect to this DB underscore URL, that will be there. Okay. Now, along with this, what I will do, as soon as I create my knowledge base, as soon as we run this program, we need to also load it. So here I will write knowledge base dot load. Okay. And then storage is equal to PG assistant storage. And here I'm just going to give my table name. Okay. My table name, let's say I'm going to write a PDF assistant. Okay. And again, this DB URL is equal to DB URL. So this will basically be my PG assistant. That is the Postgres, whatever vector database that I'm specifically going to use. Okay. Now this is really important. Because now we are going to create that assistant that we specifically require. Okay. And from documentation that I have actually seen, this is just like a function. We specifically just create a function and we try to load this up. Okay. Now, in order to probably explore this, I will just go ahead and copy one code. Okay. And here I'm not writing anything because no Python code, specific normal Python code is required, but we are just seeing the documentation. Now this definition PDF underscore assistant, we are just going to create it as a function. And remember, this name should be same as this particular name. Okay. New Boolean is equal to false, user is equal to string is equal to user. Now, finally, we have to create this assistant. So here we will be giving the same run ID, which we have mentioned earlier. Okay. And this run ID will be assigned once we start the program, right? Then you have this user ID is equal to user, knowledge base is equal to knowledge base, right? Then you have the storage, then you have this show tools underscore call is equal to true, search knowledge is equal to true, and read chat history is equal to true. With the help of this, we will be enabling the assistant to read the chat history. With this, we are enabling the assistant to search the knowledge base. And here we are also showing that, hey, you can specifically use the tools in the response. Okay. Now, if you are running it for the first time, the run ID is going to become none. And then we assigned a assistant.run ID. Then we start the specific run, right? And then we are running this in a command line prompt. Okay. So that is the reason we are writing .cli underscore app markdown is equal to true. And then we are running this program from here where we are using this typer, right? The imported library over here, typer.run PDF assistant, right? So this is what we are specifically using over here. Okay. So I hope you have got an idea with respect to this. This is more about the things we are specifically doing in the documentation. Like this is basically referred from the documentation. Now, as I said, like if I run this particular code, right, there will be multiple issues that will probably come because I've not installed the libraries that is required. When we are using our vector database, right, like PG vector, so we need to probably import some of the libraries for this, install some of the libraries for this. Along with this, you'll also be seeing that we require some more libraries like SQL Alchemy and all, right? So here in the requirement.txt, you can see that I have put up this 4 different libraries which we are going to probably install: SQL Alchemy, PG Vector, PSYCOPG binary, and PyPDF. PyPDF is specifically for the PDF reading, right? Now let me just go ahead and open my terminal, okay? And here I'm inside my VNV. I will quickly go ahead and install my requirement.txt. Okay, let me just go back, or let me just open one more command prompt so that it becomes easy for me to handle, because I have two different paths, right? So here what I will do, I will write conda activate VNV, and now from here I will just go ahead and write pip install -r requirement.txt. Okay, so the requirement.txt is already installed for my case. Like I've already done this installation to test the application. Now I will just go ahead and run my Python PDF assistant. So sorry, first of all, I need to change my path. And for that, I can go back to my command prompt. I'm inside my PDF assistant. And then I will go ahead and write Python PDF assistant.py. Okay. So this is perfect. Now here you can see, oh, the loading the knowledge database, it is reading this specific PDF, and this PDF looks something like this, you know. So this is the entire PDF, you know. We can get all the ingredients, all the dishes, you know, everything we can specifically get from here, right? So let me see. Okay, now I'm actually getting this. It is showing this user, and all the documents have already been added in my vector database. So let's down all the dishes. Okay, so I'm just going to ask one question. So it is just going to search this knowledge base, and now it is providing me all the details from that particular PDF. This is quite amazing, right? Now you can use any number of PDFs you want, but the answer is quite accurate. Let's say that I want to probably see the ingredients. Okay, so what are the ingredients of this dish, that is masan gai? Okay, so here we are going to, oh, nice, 300 gram chicken rump, 80 grams this, roasted peanuts, everything is basically coming up, right? This dish is rich in vitamins and minerals such as vitamin A, B6, C, E, K, this all things are there, right? Let's say that if I ask how to make this particular dish, okay? So here again, it is probably going to see, oh, okay, it is also giving the same ingredients, like this all ingredients you can specifically use. Oh, now this is nice to make tamarind rice juice, this, directions. Okay, it has also given the directions now, how to make it, right? Now just imagine if I have a knowledge database of like this, and I'm able to interact it, you know, probably I want to convert my entire GitHub repository in this format by uploading multiple PDFs, storing everything, and people can directly use it as a chatbot and get all the answers, right? This is quite amazing. The main aim of this particular project was to showcase that how we can use multiple tools to make it as a complex workflow and solve this kind of problems, right? Isn't it quite amazing, right? Now, one assignment for you, try to convert this as an end-to-end project. Try to use Streamlit. Try to convert this so that you will be able to use a front end where you can actually give your inputs and you can probably do it, right? Anyhow, I will be providing all the information in the description of this particular video. Now, one very important thing, guys, these all videos are crucial because whenever you go and nowadays you could work in the company, people are going to definitely ask you. And here, my main aim is to showcase how you can probably get started, how you can probably start thinking of complex workflows and how you can solve it, right? So yeah, this was it from my side. I hope you like this particular video. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.